that to you. I just said to Danielle, it seemed to be a good place to stop, not start. Your Worship, honorable members, guests of the Chamber, I want to first of all thank Danielle for being the sponsor of this event. I also have to thank Shannon and Eddie for all the work that they've done. I also would like to congratulate, as others have, all of those who have been nominated tonight, and wish everyone who has been nominated will end up a winner in any case. So congratulations to all of you. It's an honor for me to receive this prestigious award from such a well-respected community organization, the Stratford Chamber of Commerce. Thanks to those who made the decision, and a special thank you to my video presenters, Paul, Peter, Donna, and our mayor, ex-mayor, Dan. That was a very, very excellent tribute, and I'm very much indebted to you all. We went through lots of wars together, all of us. I'm sure you could have taken the same amount of time and maybe put a little different spin to it, but I appreciate the way you did. I also want to especially thank those who organized it, who were kind enough to reach out to really what we, Marion and I, refer to as our extended family and friends. We have here from London Hunt Club, friends from there, dear friends over many, many years. We have the Steak of the Month group, which have been together since the 70s. I don't know why it's Steak of the Month. We don't have steak. And we don't get together once a month, but it seems to work. We have our friends and associates from Novatronics, whom we spent really 20 years working together out at Erie and Lorne in a very satisfying development experience, and very much in the debt of those people who provided the day-to-day leadership to that organization while we were there. And I'm especially pleased, Marion and I now tend to be focused on the grandchildren, 11 of them. And we're fortunate tonight to have 3 of them with us, with Donna as the den mother, if you will. Molly is here from London, Ontario. Molly has finished her 2nd year at Queen's. And Donovan and Mackenzie say they're going to graduate from grade 7, and we have no reason to doubt it. But we're just delighted that they could be with us, and we're very grateful to those who allowed that to happen. It is particularly satisfying to be recognized in this particular way. In my early years here in Stratford, and we came here in 1983, the community leaders then, whom we admired and celebrated, such as Tom Orr, Keith Culleton, Vic Hayter, people whom we looked to as community leaders, whom we admired, they were the people who preceded us to this podium. Subsequent to that, as is so appropriate, a new generation of leadership emerged. The new generation of leadership was reflected in people who also came to this stage, like Tim McDougall, Lisa Hyde, John Kastner, Franklin Fong, Mary Dingman, to name but a few. My friends will notice that I didn't mention Jeff Orr. To be sharing this honor with these community leaders is a humbling experience, and I'm honored and grateful. Now, I was asked by Eddie to give a keynote address this evening, but when Eddie and the board chose this event to happen this night, they did not realize we would be competing with the Leafs and the Panthers in the second round of the Stanley Cup. So earlier today, I proposed to Eddie, I thought, a very constructive suggestion. You have to be a little creative, when you're in business. I suggested to Eddie that I would write out my address. I thought he could deliver it, and I would go to the bar and watch the hockey game. He vetoed that idea, and I guess I have to be prepared for either the odd exodus of people who go to the bathroom and don't come back. When a person receives an honor like this, it causes you to look back over your career and ask, how did I get here? In my case, the first sobering reflection is that I did not get here by design. This was never one of my ambitions, despite the high regard I have for all those who preceded me in receiving this singular honor. Indeed, reflecting on my career, as I did over the last few days, caused me to conclude that I have lived a life of interesting coincidences and a lot of unintended consequences. I grew up in a small community in P.E.A. where there was no electricity, no paved roads, and a one-room school for all 10 grades. Many even here might consider that a handicap starting out in life. I did not. It was a stable, affirming environment. I feel fortunate even today that I had the opportunities that the small village presented. Our dreams then were small baby steps along the road of life. I aspired, now you guys can't laugh, I aspired to be a lineman for the county. Some know I wouldn't know how to turn on the switchboard, the light. My parents had a different idea, and it was in furthering my education. Through great sacrifice and perseverance, they saw to it that I graduated from university. Thank goodness they instilled in me and my siblings the importance of hard work and a good education. When I finished university, I was asked by the Dean of Commerce, Dean of the Commerce faculty, about my career plan. I explained that I had committed for 1 year to teach high school in Summerside, and after that, I hoped to go to law school. His reaction to my plan was life-defining. Don, he said, the world does not need another lawyer. Pardon for the lawyers. You, he said, should go into the MBA program at the University of Western Ontario. Well, I heeded his advice. I also learned, even back then, early in life, the importance of good mentors. And throughout my business career, I have been blessed by some of the best. As you heard in the introduction, I have had a number of business leadership experiences, all different, but all tend to follow kind of the same formula. I call it a winning formula. And it has some very clear parameters. First of all, it's important to have good mentors. Secondly, you must have good teammates. As Marc Messier said in his recently published book, no one wins alone. You have to have an iron will determination to succeed, where setbacks are treated as learning experiences, not as defeats. And with that, and all of those things, you still need a lot of good luck sprinkled with a goodly number of happy coincidences. There are many stories to tell, too many for tonight, but a few familiar coincidences come immediately to mind. First of all, Labatt that was, decided that we wanted to associate ourselves with the lead group that were going to bring Major League Baseball to Toronto. We organized a meeting, we went there, all the money we were going to put into marketing, blah, blah, blah. And they announced to us that they thought associating themselves with us as a brewery would adversely affect their chances of getting a franchise. Well, it could have been over, but it wasn't. We decided, to hell with it, we'll go it alone. We did, and guess what? They lost, we won, and the Toronto Blue Jays came into being. A second example of coincidences. We had a business in B.E.A. It's 1989. I arrive in Summerside, go to Mass. The priest is giving a sermon about the devastation to the Summerside and B.E.A. community of the recent decision to close the Air Force Base. It touched me. I went out to our house in Woodley, just outside of Summerside, poured myself a scotch, talked to myself because there was nobody else there. And then I decided, somewhere through that evening, that I should write my friend, Barbara McDougall. No relation, by the way. She was the Minister of Privatization. And my letter was essentially saying, you've taken on one very difficult and important task. You should realize that if you don't do this right, there's going to be a lot of people suffering here. So basically, it was a push to her. Well, this resulted, after some time, in marshalling the support of the community, marshalling the support of two levels of government, and marshalling the support of some enlightened investment people. And it's resulted in the creation of Slemon Park Corporation, which the Premier referred to briefly this evening. And this Slemon Park Corporation is now a much bigger economic engine in B.E.A. than the Air Force Base ever was. Here, Novatronics, my third example. Why? Why did the owners of Novatronics invite me to go on their board in 1981 with no aerospace experience whatsoever? I could find my way to Stratford from London, Ontario, and that was it. Why did the owner, Mr. Novak, 2 years later ask me to help him sell the Stratford plant of Novatronics? Then, how on earth did two guys with a total of $120,000 to invest end up buying a $3 million aerospace company? an awful lot of strange coincidences have to happen. So coincidence, my friend, coincidences. I want to thank publicly tonight all my mentors, all my teammates, many of whom are here, and all those who played key roles in my life. But I cannot close without acknowledging that none of those accomplishments which we celebrate tonight would have been possible without the loving support of my best friend, my best mentor, my wife of 61 years, Marion. A wise person, or at least we thought he was, Albert Einstein said, or is alleged to have said, coincidences are God's way of remaining anonymous. Well, he may have been anonymous, but his guiding hand has been evident through my very satisfying career. I will conclude these remarks by thanking him, the source of all of our blessings, including this great honor tonight. Thank you all, and go Leafs go.